Hey, what's up? It's me, the Trading Goddess, and I am here to help you become a better swing trader with just a few simple steps. So, the first thing we're going to do is get our um, indicators together. So, you see how these bars are bright green? Well, that comes from my very own special indicator that is on TradingView, and all you have to do to add that is put in our vol candles, and it is right here. Okay, so you can add that, and you will have these beautiful bright green candles with this bright blue, which shows selling pressure and huge buying pressure as well. Okay, you can adjust it and change it to 1, but the default is 1.5. All right, so that is step 1. Step 2 is adding moving averages to help guide you into the trade. So here we go with the first moving average, which is 20. The second moving average is 35. And for this particular scenario, we have the 72 moving average. All right. And so if you just look before we add any lines, you can see there's a particular pattern that happens that usually springboards a lot of power. And that is when price touches the 20 and the 35 on one bar. Okay, so let's just take a look at that. Right here, price touches the 20 and the 35 on one bar going up, and you have a huge push. Same here, price touches the 20 and the 35, huge push. All right, so we are waiting for that candle to touch both of these moving averages here. Okay, and then a green R vol candle to come across and close above this open, and then entering here and going all the way up. So we're waiting for bright green, right? That's super easy. Green as in go. All right, so we've got that. Wanted to show you that that's what it looks like, and you can use any time frame to see this. Now the second thing we're going to do is add our Fibonacci levels. Okay, and that is very simple to do. I do not have a lot of hard, homework for you to do. It's really simple. You go to the monthly chart, you put your Fibonacci on here, make sure you set it to these levels. And just a quick recap, if you need to do that, you just click the fib retracement, and these are the levels. If you need to pause the video to change these levels on yours, then you should do that. But these are the levels that I have, and I love them. Okay, so now we have the one at the top at the high of the October candle, and then we have the 0 level at the very low of the October candle. Now we don't want to forget that most of the volume is at the open. Okay, we're going to turn this black, and the close of the previous candle. Okay, and then the high and the low. Okay, but we're going to mark those off with the different colors. So we'll start off with 0, and 0 is going to be, we'll make it green because that is going to be the support of this candle, is green. Okay, and then the 22 we're going to make blue because that is powerful institution level trading, goes off of that. The next powerful institution level is 72 that we're going to have on there. And then we have the 50 level, which we'll place as orange for mid because it's like yellow and red swirled together, so it's like a middle color. And then we'll have the top, and we'll make that pink for support. I'm sorry, resistance. Okay, so there we go. So we got our resistance, our support, the floor, our power colors, the 72, the 22, and the mid, where sometimes it will bounce off if this is not strong enough, or it might push all the way through and go right down to this level. All right, so now we are on the 4th day of the month, which is tomorrow will be the 3rd trading day of the month. So I thought, why not have a challenge? So let's go ahead and challenge ourselves. Now, QQQ is the chart I'm using, but if you don't have a lot of capital, just go ahead and use TQQQ. Now, here goes a little cheat code. So if we go into TQQQ, okay, onto our option chain. All right, let me bring this over here for us. And we look out the month, we can see that there is a lot of open interest here, and there's a lot of open interest on this side. Okay, so we're looking at TQQQ, but I really just want you to look at the prices, to be honest. And the prices going out to November 21st are around, $355, $234. Like you've got some that you could actually buy, but if you need to go a little cheaper than that, you can, instead of going to the 24th, you can go to the 14th, and you still get a nice little selection under $300 for a contract. So it's worth just giving it a go, right? So all right, I just wanted to show you TQQQ versus that. All right, going back to it, just want to show you that. The next thing we want to do is enter in on the 2-hour candle. All right, so now that we've got the 2-hour candle, I want you to see the 2-hour time frames, why these levels are so important. So we started off here November 3rd. The last time price made it to this level was last week, October 29th, right? It just could not break above that. So this right here would be the first entry that we can do as of the first day of the month, the first, trading day of the month, which was Monday, the 3rd. So we could have entered here. So our rule of thumb is the price, which is the candle, must touch the 20 moving average, which is this purple one, and the 35 moving average to be valid. All right. It also must be blue for the R vol, meaning the relative volume must be heavy enough to have turned this blue, and it needs to touch both of these moving averages at the same time. Now look what happened here. Neither one of these candles touched the moving average at the same time, but this one did. So, and as you can see, that black line was our close line from last month's candle, and it reversed right here. So you could have entered in, but it did not close below here, and it went up. So that would not be the best entry. So we want to enter in when price is either more squished together on these moving averages, or when they just fully crossed, which was right here. So you could have entered in here, and look what we're at, the 72. And when price broke below that, it was a valid entry. So if you miss this level, just be patient and wait for the next level. Now, what about the stop loss, you ask? Okay, well, the stop loss in this scenario would be, it would be either above this open or up here. Okay, so you could use two areas as your stop loss. So we'll do this area, which is above this level, because we're using levels as our stop losses, or it would have been this level right here. Okay, so you have two that you could have used, but I personally would have used this one. If price would have gone above here, we're out of the trade. All right, so just by looking visually, this would be our next level, but this might hit overnight. This is an overnight candle. So if it does hit here overnight, then we're looking for two things. We're looking for price to either do one or two things, okay? One is to come down to this area and then reverse and go back up here, or come down all the way here. We do not know which one it's going to do, so we have to be patient. Now, this has already gone down for 5 bars, all right? As you can see, if 5 bars is very lengthy, and it may or may not continue to go that far. So what we want to do is wait for a pullback, or wait for price to shoot up past the candle before it. And so because this is already such a big move, we just want to wait and be patient and see what price does at this area right here. Now I'm going to come back to this chart later as we wait for the next level, because right now it's just in the middle of the level. We never want to trade at the middle of a level. Okay, so let me tell you what I mean here. As you can see, price came down to this level. Then the relative volume pushed up. We know that we can make an aggressive entry right here. But if we do make this aggressive entry, understand that it may halt right here and come back down. So this is our potential aggressive entry we can do with a out the money call, and then wait for confirmation to cross this candle right here. Okay, so when the next day, when price came up and crossed this big candle here, that was our next trigger candle, and this is our next entry candle. So this is trigger and this is entry. And look what it does. It touches both the 20 and 35, and then this one crossed above it, which was a perfect entry. Then it reached up to the level, and then it kept going to this level, and then it went to the open. Okay, so I'm sorry, the close of that particular candle during October. So it went up one more, and then you could have taken your profit at that high. All right, so here we go, coming back down. We're waiting for this level to be touched, and then we're also waiting for this level to be touched. Okay, and this right here in the past. So if price comes down here, there is a high likelihood that you may see a bounce just like that. But we're only going to enter swings with this bright green candle that closes above at least 1 to 5 candles before. All right, that's the deal. The candle that closes is bright green, and it closes above at least 1 to 5 candles. So you see how it closes above 1, 2, 3 candles, and this one closes above 4 candles, so it's closing above here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a great rule of thumb. This candle should close at least above 5 previous candles, but you can do 1 to 5. All right, and that usually is a valid entry. All right, so anyway, I hope that this little challenge will, get you to draw your lines, get you to use your moving averages. Make sure that you're looking for a relative volume that pushes up above the 25 and the 35, above the past 1 to 5 bars. You're just looking for little clues to say, hey, I'm really ready to break out. And these bright green RVol candles will help you do that. I call them slime bars because y'all remember Nickelodeon? Y'all remember that? And how it was like bright green? So I call it the slime green bars and the slime blue. All right. So I am excited to see which level we're going to get into, but I'm thinking that it's probably going to come down to perhaps this 50 and then maybe bounce up to the 72 and come back down again. But I will be waiting for the next big blue bar for a down, and I will be looking for a big green bar that consumes at least 1 to 4 to 5 bars before I enter. It is quite easy to do that. It is not really hard at all. And I think you can do this. So happy challenge for November, and I will keep us up to date about the levels so we can do this together. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if there's any tickers you want to do a swing on or you want me to look at for you, I would be more than happy to. Just leave me a comment, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.